Namaste, my friends, and welcome or welcome back. How to improve your practice, become stronger or become more elastic without really dedicating 100% to yoga. Maybe you need to or want to watch the TV, work on your presentation, or you're working from home, or to do anything at home, but you cannot really devote like many hours to yoga. So the first trick is that to try to sit with a straight back as much as you can. So don't lean on anything, sit with the back straight. It can be Vajrasana pose or the diamond pose if you're comfortable. If not, put the blanket under the pelvis, for example, this way. And maybe there is a small table here so you can work on your computer. Important always to keep the back straight. You can sit in this pose, but you won't be able most probably to sit in it for too long time. Then any pose that you're working on with the legs crossed, which are the main poses for meditation and pranayama. If you want, over here I will put the link of the poses for meditation and pranayama, the 6 best poses to work on, and you choose one. If you still feel not very comfortable or you cannot maintain it for a long time, use it in your everyday life. You're eating, you're watching the TV, you're doing anything, and simply change constantly one leg, then another. Don't hurt your knees, be very careful, but like the back should be straight. The more you sit with your back straight in the particular pose, the easier it will be for you to maintain it. So this is the first trick. Use the poses in your everyday life with the back straight. The second trick that I love to use is for the elasticity to go into the Hanumanasana or the monkey pose, the split pose. I'm not talking about sitting in the split while watching the TV because it's not that easy. If you can, by all means, go ahead. I'm talking about using this pose as a pigeon pose. So one leg is back and outstretched, another one is the knee is looking in front, and the heel is near the pubic bone, let's say, a bit higher than the pubic bone. So in this position you can put some blankets, anything, technically the block, under the side of the pelvis to lift it a bit for you to feel easier, like feel more at ease. Next one, you can use, and this one, by the way, I wanted to really show you, that's the belt from my shorts. So yoga strap, nice, but it's not like you have to buy it. So we use the strap because honestly, it's nice to sit in the king pigeon like this, but not very comfortable maybe. It's very nice to stretch this part of the leg for the split. And in this position, it's stretched. If you already feel very nice while intense stretching, don't go further. If you would like, we bend the back leg in the knee and we bring it closer to us. Again, staying in this pose, reading a book, maybe not that comfortable. So use the belt, grab your feet with the belt like this, and bring the belt closer and maybe even go all the way down, kind of like trying to relax in the pose. Always remember 70-30, 70 comfort, 30 discomfort. So the pose mainly should be comfortable for you because technically the pose in yoga, asana, is something which is stable and comfortable. So always stable, comfortable. Remember about these things. If it's too discomfortable, exit a bit, release the hold. So this pose, the pigeon pose or the king pigeon if you prefer, you can do like this. You can hold the strap from up, showing to you, like this. This is perfect. Play with the pose, maybe sit for 5 minutes like this, then change. Another important aspect, when you sit in the pose like that or in any other, you always need to counter-react. So do the counter pose. So if you're arcing your back, you need to round your back. If you're stretching this part of the muscle, you need to do something with the opposite part of the leg. For example, for this pose, the great one is the half triangle pose, Ardha Trikonasana. So we go up And what we do, we outstretch the front leg here. Be sure that the angle is 90 degrees in the back leg. You can tuck your toes under this way. You can also, if you want to like make it stronger, harder, you can point the toes up. And in this pose, once again, you can use 2 blocks, for example, if you have them, or you can simply stay like this, or with your fingers on the floor. And we stay in this pose for better as long as you stayed in the first one, or at least even like a couple breaths. The moment you feel that this tension that you had before is completely gone, so we stay in this pose, in the counter pose, and then we go back, for example, into the pigeon. So this was trick number 2. Trick number 3. It's maybe one of my favorite, the one with which I always start. I don't know why, but like it always was my passion and my desire to go into the side split, you know, into the Gamokasana Pose. But I'm still not there, but I'm working on this. For that, we go into the frog pose, it's called. If you're practicing on something which is quite soft, maybe there is a carpet, you don't need it, or maybe on the bed, better to actually use the floor. Put the pillows or blankets under your knees, not to hurt them. I have only one today with me, and another one on another side. Start with both of the knees bent at 90 degrees like this. You're sure you won't hurt your knees. And another trick, guys. So, staying in this pose simply like this, amazing, you can do it. You won't be able to hold it for a long time. You always need to find real comfort in the pose, kind of like to do yin yoga, to hold it for a long time. As our body is interconnected, so all of the muscles are interconnected, you will be surprised how releasing one muscle or one group of muscles can release another. So I want you to try this pose, this one. And what we do after, we take or the blanket, big one, or the pillow, or if you have yoga block, and you can start by putting it like this under your chest. So rib cage, which is quite hard. Find where it doesn't hurt. We'll put it this way and try to relax on it and see the feelings, feel the feelings in your hips. They will completely change, and let me know in the comments if you feel the same. So it becomes so easy to hold this pose. Of course, maybe not on that hard block. If you can go lower, put the block this way, or maybe even put block and the blanket, you know, to make it smooth and nice. And lower yourself completely down. From here, open the book, or put your laptop in front of you, or the TV, or anything that you are relaxing, you know, while doing. You want to watch your favorite Netflix show, your favorite movie or series, you can do in this pose. And this is amazing. The counter pose for this one, and this is crucial because now we're opening the hips very intensely. We need to do the opposite, we need to close them. So the counter pose for this one. First option, it's the diamond pose, like that. So we simply sit in the diamond pose for some time till we feel comfortable. If you don't have problems with your knees, it's very nice to, or it's better to use the warrior pose. Here, please be careful with your knees, it's crucial. If you have some pain over here, put some blanket. If it's hard for you to sit, put some blanket under the pelvis over here. So we were sitting in the pose for opening the hips. Now we're doing for closing the hips this way. You can change also, instead of this one, to use the Gamokasana Pose. So one leg is in front of the other, like this, and you sit in between of them, this way. And you can sit in this pose, watching anything or talking with your loved ones. Remember to switch the side after. So that was the third pose. And trust me, only these 3 tricks, 3 poses will be enough for you to see the huge improvement. And that we were talking about the elasticity for the yoga practice. Let's talk about the strength for the yoga practice. Strength is needed to do all of the balances. Strength is needed to do all of the hand balances, the bakasana, you name it, almost any pose. We will work on the most famous, the most important pose, which is the plank pose. You can tell me, I know I can do the plank while watching the TV, it's not that nice. I know, I'm not talking about constantly sitting in the pose. I'm telling you to incorporate it while you're watching. For example, the movie is 1 hour. Why not to spend 20 minutes out of this 1 hour being in the pose? So, your hands are completely under your shoulders, be sure. We outstretch one leg and put it on the toes, outstretch another one, put it on the toes. Put your pelvis down, so one straight line from the top of the crown till your heels, and we stay in this pose and we enjoy it, the plank pose. If it's hard for you, you can do the plank pose on your knees this way. You should start with the plank pose on your knees. So once again, doing whatever you want in this pose. After you are tired, like really tired, we simply go in the Vajrasana pose, Dhyani Mudra, with our hands gazing forward, watching the TV, well, maybe even like grabbing the book a bit closer, bringing it. Or Virasana pose, any pose that you feel comfortable. And technically, this is the best and the main pose that you should know for the strength. Of course, you can do all of the poses of yoga while doing something else. I believe that these 3 poses for the elasticity and 1 for the strength are the one and the only poses that you will actually need to incorporate, and this will be more than enough. Please leave your comments, let me know what you think. Let me know which poses you incorporate in your normal everyday life. I'm very curious to know. I thank you for watching this video, for staying with me, for dedicating this time to getting some new information maybe. And I wish you a great life full of yoga practice. Namaste.